What's up, everyone? This is the Minister of Beauty, and I share the Bible that is business, inspiration, beauty, life, and enjoyment. And I'm still on this kick of just really encouraging you to take your power back, claim your power, know the strength that you embody, and walk in that. Because I've been through so much in my lifetime, but I've been through so much in the past few years, and a lot of us have been through a lot of things, but I really find that statement, only the strong survive, really is a true statement. And you never really know how strong you are until you have to go through some things and you find out if you're either going to quit in the midst of it all or if you're going to keep moving forward. So I really want to encourage you in taking your power back to not give up, don't quit. And you hear it all the time. You hear people say, don't quit, don't give up. But it is something that you have to really tell yourself. You can have people tell you this all the time, but you really have to encourage yourself. When I say that there is just a lot of negativity out there that will try to make you feel like you have no other options but to quit, then I would be lying to you to say that there aren't. There's so many negative forces out there that want you to give up and want you to quit. So I'm going to share some things, and I often say I'm not an open book. I'm more like a diary. And speaking of being a diary, actually, I'm just going to do a little quick run through. I'm still setting up my business location, guys, but it's coming along. This is the front waiting room area, and still getting things set up, so it's just going to be really quick. I'm just gonna it's a mess, it's still getting set up. Still being set up, guys, but it's getting there. Bathroom. And the rest in the back is a mess, but I just thought I would show you a little quick peekaboo since this is about business and trying to be a little bit more open with you guys. So I appreciate it. I don't like to share everything about myself, and even the things that I'm sharing with you all on this platform that I created to be a little bit more open, a little bit more transparent, and a little bit more vulnerable. It's not about me. I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing it because I believe that everything that we go through in life, it's not just a lesson for you to learn something, but it's to help somebody else. So in being the minister of beauty, ministry is not about being in a pulpit. It's not about having a church and preaching. A minister is someone that serves. Look up the definition of a minister. It's someone that serves. So I'm here to serve in the capacity that I believe God has given me to serve in, and that capacity is going through my life and living the experiences that I have lived. I want to be able to help someone else to be able to pivot so that they don't have to go through some of the things that I've gone through. And even in saying that, it doesn't mean that you won't go through things, because the Bible even says that in this life there will be hard times, there will be trouble, there will be trials, there will be tribulations. But after that, it says, but be of good cheer. And the word but, you may have heard it before, maybe you haven't, but anytime you hear something and then you hear but in the middle of it, it cancels out everything before that, or it dismisses everything before that was said, or it's taking away the power from what was said before that. So in this situation, when the Bible says, in this life you will have trials and tribulations, but be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world. That but, it doesn't dismiss everything that was said before that, but that but is to take the power out of what was said before that. So that means that, yeah, you may go through some hard times and you may go through some stress and some struggles, but it is going to get better if you keep moving forward. So I started my business in 2008. You guys know, or you may not know, I am a beauty business service provider and a beauty business entrepreneur. I started my own business in 2008, and I really started my business not because I wanted to. I started my business because I really didn't have any other option but to do it, because I wasn't given chances at the places where I had applied to work in to do the services that I specialize in, which are eyelash services. Back then, nobody really knew what it was where I was located, so no one wanted to take a chance on it. And I invested in myself. I invested in my education. I invested in my training, and I spent a lot of time and a lot of money to do that. So I wasn't going to quit in that. I said, okay, well, I'm going to start my own business. And that is what I did. And it was not easy. I didn't really know a whole lot about what I was doing because I didn't have anyone to help me. I was walking out the steps just day by day. And lo and behold, over those years from 2008 to 2018, my business did nothing but grow. So I grew from just being a solo practitioner and having, just me working in my business and renting rooms in different business locations. I went from doing that to eventually getting my own building. And then from there, hiring my first team member in 2012. Notice I said team member, I didn't say employee. By the government standards, because as an employer, I have to pay taxes on anyone that is working in my business. So for those sakes, and in that definition, I had employees, but I always called anyone that came to work in my business, or I do call them team members, because there is no I in team. There is a me in there, but I never treated my business like it's all about me. I treated my business about the clients and who we are serving. So it's about the clients, it's not about me. So if it's not about me, it's definitely not about those who come to work in the business either. So first employee hired in 2012. Over the years, hired other team members, and then went from one location to another location. Several years later, opened up another location because I had clients that were coming to my business location from all different areas. So everything that I did was for the clientele. It wasn't about me trying to gain a big name for myself or saying, oh, I have multiple locations and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I did everything to service the clients because I was getting feedback from clients that were saying, oh, it would be great if you were here. It would be great if you were here. And I'm not saying I did those things immediately when clients were saying those things. The clients started saying those things, serving in a sort of informal way. And then God opening up opportunities for me to have spaces in these other places, and not just God opening up opportunities, but me walking by faith to even do that. Because God can open up the opportunities for you to do things, but then you don't have the faith to walk in it, so it just never happens. So I walked in it and things were doing great, Business was growing over the years. So from 2008 to 2018, my business did nothing but grow. And then in early 2018, I opened up a fourth business location. And I did this in another state and city. So that was the first time I'd ever done that. I opened up in different cities, but still in the same state. And that was a huge leap of faith. And I did a lot to make that happen. And I also did it with the knowledge, with the agreement, even signed, documentation with a team member at the time who was going to be overseeing that location, managing that location, and moving from another location that she was working in to that other location. But people flip and people change. And I'm not going to make this a long video because I'm actually in the process of writing a book about these experiences. But this person just flipped and she stole over $100,000 worth of clientele from my business. These clients brought in around $100,000 worth of revenue into the business location that she was seeing them at. And like I said, there is no I in team. Everyone that I hired to work in my business is a team member. So when that happened in February of 2019. it was overnight, literally, that this happened. And I was devastated by it. Devastated emotionally, and definitely devastated financially. Because the more money your business is making, usually the more operating expenses and bills you have. And that was, the same for me as well. And so for someone to do something like that, and in this industry, in the beauty industry, you can either have your own business or you can work in someone else's business and be a team player. But unfortunately, you have some people with a huge sense of entitlement where they feel like, well, I'm working with the clients, I'm providing the services, I can just start my own business and then I can make 100% of the money versus getting paid a percentage. And when I say that this person made great money working here, they made great money working here. I have the W-2 forms to prove it, okay? I've even had people in banks, when I was seeking funding for my business, that were saying, your payroll is way too high, because they were looking at what my business was bringing in and my payroll was a high percentage of the revenue that was coming into my business. I didn't really have a problem with that because I want to pay people well. So for me, it was never about, I want to make sure that I am bringing in I don't want to say bringing in, but I am pocketing the lion's share of the revenue of the business, and then they get paid what they get paid, because you want people to appreciate their position and you want to show people that you appreciate the position that they hold. So for this person, I don't know if they just had people getting in their ear, because sometimes you have people that will start suggesting things, and it happens a lot. People will, have small talk. Well, have you ever thought about opening up your own business? Well, why don't you do this on your own? And different things like that. I don't fault clients for having that type of talk, because they really don't know. They don't know the background of everything. They don't know about non-compete agreements that are signed, and different agreements, employment agreements and things like that people are supposed to abide by. And they're just thinking, well, I'm looking out for the person that's doing these services for me. But yet, when this person decides to open up their own business, they won't charge the same amount that my business charges, because their operating expenses, and you want to definitely be bringing in a profit as well. So because this person is doing things in the underhanded way, where they're pocketing money under the table, they're not a legitimate business, they don't have a business license, they're not filing taxes, they're just making money and pocketing everything under the table, and they're buying, cheaper products and those different types of things, they can afford to charge people less. So this person decided that they were going to start to do that, and then I didn't get any real notice about her leaving, so it didn't give me enough time to bring in someone who was like really ready and available to start working with the clients. But not only that, she had already let the clients know that she was seeing that she was going to be opening up her own business, and so in 2 weeks you can come and see me wherever, whatever hole in the wall she was going to be seeing clients from. And that was just dirty. It was dirty, and it still is dirty. But you know what? This video isn't about her and what she did. This video is about not giving up and continuing to move forward in spite of the things that happen in your life, because you can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you react to the situation, and you can control your actions moving on from there. So how did I recover from losing over $100,000 worth of clientele revenue in my business? It wasn't easy, and it didn't happen overnight. But God is so amazing, because even though I couldn't believe that she would do something like that, God taught me a lot in that situation about people. And I heard, a number of different people say, well, didn't you have them sign an agreement and you can have them sued? And yeah, I could legally have taken her to court and sued her. But for me, it would have continued to keep me in that place of being hurt. It would have continued to keep me in that place of what happened when it happened, because when you take someone to court and sue them, you're gonna have to deal with that person unless they just don't show up and then you get a default judgment. But either way, whether I got a default judgment or the court found in my favor, whether it was a jury trial or the judge, just solicited the sentence, what am I gonna do? This person doesn't have that type of money. So I would have a judgment that I couldn't really collect on. And I'm gonna be in this place of just staying mad, staying angry, and wanting to go after her and get my money. And I'm not gonna be able to recover it. It happens all the time, especially in business. So I'm not immune to it, and really nobody is really immune to it. But God kept me. He gave me a lot of favor in different areas. There are some areas where I went through some things that were not fair. And I'm not going to go into all the details of those things in this video, but God is definitely turning things around for me. And one of the things I will say is I started to just do things differently. So in the way I operated with having team members in my business, I have a few great team members that are still working in my business, but I've learned to take my power back in terms of when you start to see signs and you see things, immediately addressing those things. Working on different areas and different ways of bringing in revenue into my business, that has definitely been a blessing. And I know 2020 for a lot of people was a hard year. And I'm not saying 2020 wasn't a hard year for me either, because with the shutdowns and all of those different things, I felt it in my business too. But because of what I experienced previous to 2020, in a way, God really prepared me for 2020. So even though I was going through things in 2020, my 2020 wasn't as bad as a lot of other people's because of the things that I had experienced previously. And God has given me, God has given me the opportunity to bring in money in other areas. I'm not even going to talk about the different amounts, but it has definitely kept me and it has sustained me in my business and also in my personal life. And in the building that I'm standing in right now is a product of me not giving up, because I shut down that business location in the other city and state that I had opened up in 2018. So I shut that down in late 2019. In 2020, I shut down my third business location, so it brought me down to 2. And as I was praying about different things regarding my business and wanting to do some changes and do some things differently, I decided that I wanted a larger space, because I'm going to be, like I said, doing things differently, and I have already been doing things differently. So I wanted a larger space. I wanted more of a storefront. My other main business location is a small single cottage. And it's cute, and I've been in that building since 2012, but I wanted to do something different. So I started looking. I stepped out on faith. I made my petition known. I said what I wanted, and I started looking around. And there were some other things that I saw, some other opportunities that came up that I really, really had high hopes for, but they did not work out for me. And I'm so glad that they didn't work out for me, because this building that I'm in right now, it's larger than the other things that I was looking at, and I got so much grace and favor to get this space, and I absolutely love it. All of the clientele that come to see me in this business location absolutely love it, and I've been getting a lot of new clients that have been coming in that have been seeing the business, and I'm just really, really grateful for all of the great things that God is allowing to happen for me in my business. And it's not over, because when you sow good seeds, you're going to reap them. And I've sown a lot of good seeds. I have had some bad seeds that have come into my business that have worked here, and I thought that they were team players, and they weren't. People prove themselves. Usually they bring their representatives to the table at first, but then they start to take off the coverings over time, and then they really start to reveal their true selves. And it's been nothing short of a lesson for me in terms of knowing what I really want for my business. And I didn't start my business with the help of any of these people, and I'll be damned if I'm going to allow them to crush me or destroy me or to stop the vision that God has given me and the blessings that he has bestowed upon me for me to be this business owner that I am. I went through a lot of hell in my life. I was a teenage mother. I had a baby a week before my 16th birthday. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. I tried to go to 4-year college. I tried to go to 2-year college for one thing, and I got a degree in that, and then an associate degree in that, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do with that. And then I just started praying and asking God for direction, and he started opening up my eyes to different areas, because I never had any interest in the beauty industry. He led me into this field. Wellness and beauty is what he led me into becoming. So I became a licensed massage therapist and a licensed esthetician, and that has completely changed my life. I get joy when I come into this place and I get to work with my clients, and I'm doing all of these things with my clients and my business. I absolutely love doing what I do. So to be in a place where I love doing what I do, to have somebody come in and steal $100,000, no, it wasn't cash, but it was clients, and they were bringing in that amount of revenue into my business. I'm not going to quit this, because there's just so much more that is available for me. Because, okay, you stole over $100,000 worth of clientele. God is going to bless me with over $1 million. And I guarantee that. I guarantee that, because the God that I believe in and that I serve, I know that he will not allow me to be disgraced and allow me to be ashamed without bringing me into a place of having a testimony. And I'm already walking in my testimony, and it's just going to be even greater. So don't ever give up and don't ever quit. Don't ever give up and don't ever quit, because there's always a chance, as long as you are breathing, to see changes happen and to come out of negative situations. A no today doesn't mean a no tomorrow. So making changes in my business has been a blessing for me. I made the decisions on what I wanted to do with my business locations, doing things differently with my team and how I hire staff, and just making clear decisions about what I really want and who I really want to be a part of my business. And I'm not rushing to do anything, and I'm not here to prove anything to anyone either, because the proof is in the experience. The proof is what you walk out. It's just what happens. It's not about me trying to prove something to anyone. I'm not trying to get back at anybody that did anything negative to me, because again, like I said, I am a high believer in reaping what you sow. A lot of people call it karma, but I am a true believer in you reap what you sow. And I believe that the actions that we take in life, they are seeds that we plant into the ground, and you're going to reap a harvest of that. So all of those clients that she took, all of the underhanded things that she did behind my back, and the way that she left and what she did to cause me to be in financial situations and emotional situations that I did not deserve, she's going to reap hell for that. And when I tell you, I don't even need to see it, I already know it. And I'm not even here to laugh at it or to revel in it or to say, oh, thank God she's getting what she got, coming to her. It's not even about that, but it is going to happen. It is going to happen. And there's a scripture in the Bible where it talks about how God he'll put you in a place and sit you at the table in the presence of your enemies. They will see when the great things are happening for you. And there's also another scripture in the Bible where it talks about how when people do horrible things to you, God will allow you to see it at some point in some time. You're not looking for it. You're not hoping for it. You're not, every day you wake up praying, God, please let her get what she did to me back on her. Like, it's not even about that, but it is just God letting you know that you don't have to worry about the things that people do to you, the things that people have said about you, the things that they have stolen from you, all of those different things. But you have to know that all of this stuff is spiritual. And when I talk about God and business, for me, everything is so connected. do believe that everything is spiritual. It's either good spiritually or it's bad spiritually, but everything is spiritual. And we also have a choice. We choose to walk in what we choose to walk in. So you can choose to walk into a place where it's bad spiritually, or you can choose to walk in a place where it's good spiritually. I choose to walk in a place where it's good spiritually. Even though people may get on my nerves, even though there may be people I can absolutely not stand, I don't make it my place to try to do things negative because of the things that these people have done or said or whatever. I just can't live my life in that way, because I always have to live in a place of moving forward movement. And forward movement means I can't stay in the past and just continue to talk about the negative things that somebody has done to me. Wrong as it is, and sometimes you may feel like you want to get on top of the mountain and just shout out to the world what you're going through and what somebody has done to you. It really does not make it any better. What makes it better is not staying in that place and moving forward. So don't ever quit. Don't ever allow anyone to knock you off of your place of success. Your place of success isn't always about all of the money that you can make. That's not the definition of success. The definition of success is the number of different definitions, but when you are just continuing to move forward, you are succeeding. So even though what she did, it took away a lot of revenue that I was bringing into my business, I continued to move forward, and it wasn't easy. I'm not saying I didn't go through bouts of crying and in moments of depression, because I absolutely did. I absolutely did. But when I sit and consider how great God has been to me, because God didn't do those things to me, a person did that. God didn't do those things to me, a person did those things. I focus on the goodness and the greatness of God and all the great things that He has allowed to happen in my life. Then I focus on those things. And that has helped me to continue to move forward and to not give up and to not quit and to take my power back. We have so much creative power with our words. So I would rather take my moments of speaking to create the existence that I desire to have for my life. So use your words as creative power over your life. You have the power to create the life that you desire to create. It is so easy to speak negative about your situation, about your circumstances, about the people that are in your life. All that complaining, it creates more negativity. So use your words to create things that are amazing in your life instead of using the words to complain. And God knows, I'm not saying that I haven't had my moments of complaining, but I will catch myself. And I will say, you know what, I got to stop talking about that. I got to stop focusing on that. And I got to focus on this. So I'm focusing on what I want. And what I want is so much greater than that little bit of 100,000 that she, worth of clientele and revenue that she took from my business overnight. It's not even worth it to stay in that place. And it's just already getting better. It's already getting better because I decided to take my power back. And I decided that greater is in store for me. I decided that. Nobody can take that away from me. Nobody and nothing that anyone can do can take that away from me. And there are even some things that I'm going through right now that they're not all positive, but I am choosing not to focus on those things, and I'm choosing to move forward because those things are not going to define me. I'm going to define me. I'm going to define my life and my lifestyle for the personal side and the business side. It is going to be amazing. So I really just want to thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. I am Elizabeth, the Minister of Beauty. And again, like I said, I share the Bible. That's business, inspiration, beauty, life, and enjoyment. And I'm going to continue to do more videos just sharing some of my business stories. And I really love to know what your thoughts are. So you can feel free to leave them in the comment section. If you have any questions, feel free, leave it in the comment section, or you can go to my website, which is in the description box as well, if you would like to reach out to me. And I really thank you all for liking, commenting, and subscribing. So until the next time, I hope you all have an amazingly blessed and beautiful day.